The 1937 no-mint mark wheat penny is a remarkable coin that continues to capture the interest of collectors and numismatists worldwide, not only because of its iconic place in American coinage, but also due to its value, which can reach up to $500 in today's market when found in excellent condition. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which did not use a mint mark at the time, this coin belongs to the Lincoln Wheat Cent series, a beloved collection that was minted between 1909 and 1958. The wheat penny is named for the two stylized wheat stalks featured on the reverse design, which symbolize America's agricultural heritage and prosperity. The obverse of the coin features a right-facing bust of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, with the inscriptions, "In God We Trust" across the top, "Liberty" to the left of Lincoln, and the date, 1937, positioned to the right. This design was revolutionary at the time, as it marked the first occasion that a real person, particularly a U.S. president, was featured on circulating American coinage. The reverse design, equally iconic, contains the two wheat stalks surrounding the denomination 1 cent at the center, with United States of America beneath it, and the Latin motto E pluribus unum above. This simple yet elegant design remained on the cent for nearly 50 years, making it one of the most collected coin series in American history. The 1937 no-mint mark wheat penny may at first seem ordinary, since millions were minted at the Philadelphia Mint. But the true allure lies in its survival in pristine condition, its historical significance during a pivotal time in America's history, and its enduring appeal among collectors. The year 1937 was an important moment in U.S. history, coming in the later years of the Great Depression. Although the country was beginning to see signs of economic recovery under Franklin D. Roosevelt's New Deal policies, hardship and financial struggle were still very real for millions of Americans. Coins like the 1937 wheat penny circulated in the hands of ordinary people, used daily to purchase basic necessities at a time when every cent counted. For collectors today, this adds immense historical value to the coin. It is not just a small copper piece, but a direct connection to one of the most challenging economic periods in American history. Holding a 1937 penny is, in a way, holding a fragment of the story of resilience, endurance, and eventual recovery. Most of these coins, having circulated extensively, became worn down over time, which is why finding examples in mint state condition is particularly rare and desirable. Those few coins that were preserved, either in coin rolls, bags, or collections, have survived the decades with their details intact and stand out as highly sought-after treasures in the numismatic marketplace. One of the main reasons the 1937 no-mint mark wheat penny can reach a market value of $500 lies in its grade and preservation. In lower grades, such as good, G, or very fine, VF, the coin is generally worth only a few cents to a few dollars due to the large number of survivors. However, in higher uncirculated grades, particularly Mint State 65, MS 65, or higher, the value increases dramatically. Collectors place a premium on coins that still retain their original red luster, sharp details in Lincoln's hair and facial features, and crisp lines in the wheat stalks on the reverse. Such coins are exceedingly scarce, as most examples entered circulation and experienced heavy wear. Third-party grading services like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, and NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Company, have authenticated and graded these coins, and auction results consistently show that the best-preserved 1937 no-mint mark wheat pennies sell for hundreds of dollars, with top-tier examples reaching the $500 range or more. For collectors aiming to complete a high-quality Lincoln Wheat Cent collection, acquiring an exceptional 1937 Philadelphia issue is essential, which fuels the demand and thus the value of the coin. Another factor that enhances the value of the 1937 no-mint mark wheat penny is the presence of minting errors and varieties. Some examples from this year show interesting anomalies, such as double-die obverses, repunched dates, or striking errors like off-center strikes. Error coins are highly collectible because they are unique, often one-of-a-kind examples of minting mishaps that were never intended for release. Depending on the type and visibility of the error, values can climb significantly above the already strong $500 mark for high-grade, error-free examples. Collectors specializing in Lincoln cent varieties actively seek out these coins, making error varieties of the 1937 penny especially appealing. While not every coin will have such errors, their existence adds another layer of excitement and opportunity for collectors searching through old collections, coin rolls, or even circulation. Beyond its physical characteristics, the 1937 wheat penny carries immense cultural and numismatic significance. The Lincoln cent series, and particularly the wheat design, represents a bridge between American coinage traditions and modern coinage practices. Introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, the wheat penny quickly became one of the most popular coins among the public. By 1937, the design had already been in use for nearly 3 decades, and it had firmly established itself as an enduring symbol of Lincoln's legacy. Collectors often appreciate the 1937 issue not just as part of the broader wheat cent series, but also as a standalone artifact that reflects America's economic and cultural climate during the late 1930s. This dual importance, both as a numismatic, collectible, and as a cultural artifact, contributes significantly to its long-term desirability and market value. In the marketplace today, the 1937 no-mint mark wheat penny demonstrates how coins can far exceed their face value when rarity in condition, historical importance, and collector demand intersect. While most circulated examples can be obtained easily and affordably, the top-end specimens are what drive the $500 valuation. Auction houses, online platforms, and coin shows often see intense competition for these coins when they appear in higher grades, as collectors recognize their scarcity and are willing to pay premiums to secure them. This is especially true for coins with full original red coloration, referred to in grading as RD, as copper coins tend to tone over time, and finding one that retains its vibrant red luster is rare. These coins not only have monetary value but also serve as investment pieces, as demand for wheat pennies has remained strong for decades and shows no sign of fading. From an investment standpoint, the 1937 no-mint mark wheat penny offers an excellent case study in how even common-date coins can become highly valuable under the right conditions. Its value is not derived from a low mintage, as millions were produced, but from the scarcity of high-quality survivors and the ever-present demand among collectors. This illustrates a key principle in numismatics: condition and collector interest often matter just as much, if not more, than absolute rarity. For those who inherit old coin collections or come across wheat pennies in bank rolls, the 1937 no-mint mark cent is a date worth inspecting closely, as it could very well be hiding in plain sight with a significant value attached to it. In conclusion, the 1937 no-mint mark wheat penny is far more than a simple copper coin from the past. It is a piece of American heritage, a symbol of resilience during the Great Depression, and a valuable collectible that can command prices up to $500 in the numismatic market today. Its design by Victor David Brenner remains one of the most iconic in U.S. coinage history, with Lincoln's portrait symbolizing leadership and the wheat stalks on the reverse reflecting the nation's agricultural roots. While many of these coins exist in worn condition, the few that survive in pristine mint state with sharp details and original red luster are the treasures that collectors eagerly pursue. The coin's value is driven by its condition, historical context, and continued collector demand, proving that even coins struck in large numbers can achieve significant market worth when preserved with care. Whether appreciated as a tangible link to America's past, a piece of fine numismatic artistry, or as an investment with solid long-term potential, the 1937 no mint mark wheat penny stands as a reminder of the hidden value that small coins can hold. Its $500 market value today reflects not just its rarity in top condition, but also the enduring fascination and respect collectors have for this humble yet historically rich coin. Next up, the 1939 no mint mark wheat penny, struck at the Philadelphia Mint, is a classic example of how a small copper coin, originally worth just 1 cent, can transform into a highly sought-after collectible worth as much as $700 in today's numismatic marketplace when found in superb condition. Belonging to the famous Lincoln Wheat Cent series that ran from 1909 to 1958, the 1939 issue carries the timeless design by Victor David Brenner, which features the right-facing bust of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. The inscriptions include, "In God we trust" across the top, "Liberty" to the left of Lincoln's portrait, and the date 1939 to the right with no mint mark, which is the identifying feature of Philadelphia minted coins of this era. On the reverse, the coin showcases the iconic dual wheat stalk design, encircling the denomination 1 cent at the center, with United States of America beneath it and E pluribus unum above. While this design was produced for nearly half a century, the 1939 issue stands out due to its age, its historical context in pre-World War II America, and the scarcity of surviving examples in pristine condition. Millions of these coins were minted, but the vast majority circulated heavily, leaving only a small number of sharply detailed, lustrous, mint-state survivors that command premium values among collectors. Those coins that remain in top condition, particularly those graded MS-65, MS-66, or even higher by grading services such as PCGS or NGC, can achieve impressive values of around $700 or more in today's coin market. To truly appreciate the 1939 no mint mark wheat penny, one must understand the historical environment of the late 1930s. The United States was still in the aftermath of the Great Depression, a decade of economic hardship that had impacted nearly every household. At the same time, global tensions were rising in Europe, with World War II only months away from erupting. Coins like the 1939 penny were used daily by Americans during this uncertain time, serving as a symbol of resilience and normalcy. Holding a 1939 penny today is akin to holding a small piece of history from an era just before the United States would be drawn into the most significant global conflict of the 20th century. This historical backdrop adds to the coin's appeal, as it is not just a monetary object, but also a tangible reminder of the lives, struggles, and transitions of ordinary Americans in 1939. For collectors, this dual significance of numismatic and historical value makes the 1939 no mint mark wheat penny a particularly desirable acquisition. The market value of the 1939 wheat penny is determined primarily by its grade. Lower-grade circulated examples are fairly common and generally worth only a few cents to a few dollars, depending on where. However, coins that survive in higher uncirculated grades, particularly those that retain their original red coloration, referred to as RD in coin grading, are considerably rarer. Copper coins like the wheat cent are prone to oxidation and toning over time, which often turns them brown or a darker red-brown color. Finding a 1939 penny that still has its vibrant red luster intact is an unusual occurrence, which explains why collectors are willing to pay premiums for such coins. A Philadelphia minted 1939 wheat penny in Mint State 65 red, MS-65 RD, can easily command hundreds of dollars, while near-perfect examples in MS-67 RD or better can reach or even exceed $700 at auction. The rarity of such coins is further reinforced by auction records that show enthusiastic bidding wars whenever a top-graded example appears for sale, confirming that collector demand is both real and strong. Error varieties and unique minting Anomalies also play a role in elevating the value of the 1939 no-mint mark wheat penny. Although not as famous for dramatic errors as some other dates, 1939 cents can occasionally be found with doubled dies, repunched dates, or striking irregularities, such as off-center strikes. These varieties are highly collectible because they represent unintentional mistakes by the U.S. Mint, which makes them rare and one-of-a-kind. For collectors who specialize in error coins, such anomalies add excitement to the hunt, and their market values can exceed even the $700 mark depending on the severity and desirability of the error. Thus, the 1939 issue carries appeal not only for traditional collectors, but also for variety and error specialists, which broadens its overall demand base. From a design perspective, the Wheat Penny series remains one of the most admired in U.S. coinage. Victor David Brenner's portrait of Lincoln was groundbreaking, as it was the first time a U.S. president had been depicted on a circulating coin. Introduced in 1909 to celebrate the centennial of Lincoln's birth, the design was both a tribute to one of the nation's greatest leaders and a departure from the allegorical figures that had previously dominated American coinage. By 1939, the design was already 30 years old, but it still held immense cultural resonance. The wheat stalks on the reverse symbolized America's agricultural strength and prosperity, linking the coin to the nation's roots. For many collectors today, the 1939 no-mint mark wheat penny is an essential piece of this broader story, a representation of enduring artistry and symbolism in U.S. numismatics. Another dimension of the coin's value comes from its role in collection building. The Lincoln Wheat Cent series is one of the most collected coin series in American history, appealing to beginners and experts alike. Its long run from 1909 to 1958 makes it both approachable and challenging, with plenty of common dates, but also several rarities that require dedication and investment to obtain. For those assembling complete sets by date and mint mark, the 1939 no mint mark issue is a necessary component. While it is not the rarest date in the series, the challenge comes in finding it in exceptional condition, especially with full red luster. This demand from set builders adds another layer of value, as competition among collectors keeps prices strong for high-grade examples. In terms of investment potential, the 1939 no mint mark wheat penny illustrates why numismatics is more than a hobby. It can also be a way to preserve and grow wealth. Coins like this one, with historical significance, strong collector demand, and rarity in top condition, tend to appreciate steadily over time. While the average circulated 1939 penny may not be worth much, the top-end specimens continue to rise in value as collectors recognize their scarcity. The $700 valuation is not just a reflection of current market trends, but also a projection of continued interest in Lincoln cents, which remain a cornerstone of American coin collecting. For investors and collectors alike, acquiring a high-grade 1939 wheat penny can be both a rewarding personal achievement and a smart long-term decision. In conclusion, the 1939 no mint mark wheat penny is far more than just a small copper coin struck over 80 years ago. It is a tangible link to the late 1930s, a time of transition in the United States as the nation moved from the struggles of the Great Depression toward the challenges of World War II. Designed by Victor David Brenner and part of the iconic Wheat Cent series, the 1939 issue combines artistry, history, and rarity in a way that makes it highly desirable to collectors. Its market value, reaching up to $700 in top condition, is driven by the scarcity of high-grade survivors, the appeal of red luster examples, and the persistent demand among collectors building complete sets. Error varieties and minting anomalies add further intrigue, while the coin's broader significance as part of the Lincoln cent story ensures its enduring popularity. For those who hold a 1939 wheat penny in superb condition, it represents not only a piece of history, but also a valuable collectible that continues to grow in esteem within the numismatic community. Ultimately, the 1939 no mint mark wheat penny reminds us that even the smallest coins can carry immense historical weight and financial value, turning what was once a simple cent into a treasure worth hundreds of dollars. Next up, the 1941 No Mint Mark Wheat. Penny is one of the most fascinating coins from the Lincoln Wheat Cent series, a piece that blends history, artistry, and collector demand into a small copper coin that today can be valued at up to $900 when preserved in pristine condition. Minted at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally did not include mint marks on its coins, the 1941 wheat penny carries with it the legacy of one of the most beloved coin designs in American history. On the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner, we see the familiar right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln, the revered 16th President of the United States, symbolizing unity, freedom, and leadership. The inscriptions, "In God We Trust," arch above Lincoln's head, while liberty rests to his left and the date 1941 is positioned to his right. The reverse design, equally iconic, features two wheat stalks that frame the denomination, 1 cent and the country's name, United States of America, topped with the motto, E pluribus unum. This combination of design elements gave the wheat cent both symbolic power and simplicity, resonating with the American public from its introduction in 1909 until its replacement in 1959 by the Lincoln Memorial Reverse. What makes the 1941 No Mint Mark Wheat penny so appealing today is not only its design but also the context in which it was minted. The year 1941 was a turning point in history. America was just recovering from the Great Depression when World War II escalated, and by December of that year, the attack on Pearl Harbor would thrust the United States into the global conflict. Therefore, this penny serves as a direct connection to an era when coins weren't just monetary instruments, but daily companions in the pockets of Americans living through uncertain times. Millions of these pennies were struck in 1941, and they circulated heavily in commerce, meaning most surviving examples today show considerable wear, scratches, and discoloration. However, those rare few that were preserved carefully, especially in brilliant mint state with full red luster, are the ones that collectors prize most highly, sometimes commanding market values up to $900 in auctions or private sales. The historical significance of this coin makes it more than just a collectible. It is a genuine artifact from one of the most pivotal years of the 20th century. In early 1941, the United States was still officially neutral in World War II, though it had already begun providing support to Allied nations through programs like the Lend-Lease Act. The sense of looming global conflict was inescapable, and the events of December 7, 1941, changed everything when Japan attacked Pearl Harbor, drawing America directly into the war. Thus, the 1941 wheat penny represents a world on the brink of monumental change. Every penny struck that year circulated in a society that was rapidly shifting from peace to wartime footing, making the coin a true witness to history. Holding one today is like holding a piece of that turbulent time, where every coin carried the silent story of the people who used it. Factory workers, farmers, soldiers, and families trying to adjust to a wartime economy. This historical context adds to its collectability, giving the coin far more meaning than just its copper value or its role as a 1-cent piece. In terms of composition, the 1941 No Mint Mark Wheat penny followed the traditional bronze alloy that had been used since 1909, consisting of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. This composition gave the coin a rich reddish-brown appearance when new, though over time exposure to air and handling caused most to turn brown or red-brown. Collectors pay close attention to the coin's color designation, which is typically classified as red, RD, red-brown, RB, or brown BN. Fully red coins, which retain their original mint luster and coloration, are significantly rarer and thus command higher premiums, with some pristine red examples being the ones capable of reaching the $900 market value. Similarly, the sharpness of strike, the presence or absence of contact marks, and overall eye appeal all factor heavily into the coin's value. In circulated grades like good G through very fine, VF, the coin is common and worth only a few cents to a couple of dollars, reflecting the large original mintage. However, in higher mint state grades, particularly MS65, MS66, and above, the value jumps dramatically, with the finest known examples becoming centerpiece items in advanced wheat cent collections. One of the most exciting aspects of the 1941 wheat penny is its association with mint errors and die varieties. While the no mint mark Philadelphia issue does not feature repunched mint marks like its Denver and San Francisco counterparts, it is known for double die varieties and striking anomalies. Some coins show noticeable doubling on the obverse inscriptions, particularly "In God We Trust" or the date itself. These double die obverses are highly desirable among error collectors and can fetch well above the standard $900 valuation, depending on the clarity and visibility of the doubling. Other error types, such as off-center strikes, die cracks, clipped, planchets, or broad strikes, are also known to exist for the 1941 issue, adding another layer of collectability. Because error coins are by nature unique, their values are determined by a combination of rarity, demand, and visual impact, often making them worth far more than standard coins from the same year. The popularity of the Lincoln Wheat Cent series as a whole ensures that the 1941 no mint mark penny will always remain in demand. The wheat cent is one of the most widely collected U.S. coin series, with millions of enthusiasts worldwide attempting to complete date and mint mark sets. For such collectors, the 1941 Philadelphia issue is a must-have, and while it is not particularly rare in lower grades, finding a superb gem-quality example can be a real challenge. This competitive demand for top-tier coins is one of the main reasons prices for mint state specimens have remained strong, with $900 values being achieved for coins graded MS67RD by major grading services like PCGS and NGC. The fact that a coin with such a large mintage can still reach such high values underscores the critical role condition and eye appeal play in numismatics. It also highlights the passion of collectors who strive to obtain only the very best examples for their sets. For investors, the 1941 no mint mark wheat penny offers both historical appeal and financial potential. While lower-grade coins are far too common to hold investment value, high-grade red mint state examples have consistently appreciated over the decades. The number of surviving top-quality coins is finite, and as more collectors enter the hobby, particularly younger generations, inspired by both history and the prospect of financial gain, the demand for these coins continues to grow. The Lincoln Wheat Cent series is often the starting point for new collectors, but it also captivates seasoned numismatists, ensuring a stable market and long-term desirability. With its $900 valuation in gem condition, the 1941 penny is both an affordable entry point for serious collectors and a smart acquisition for investors seeking historically significant U.S. coins with proven track records of appreciation. From an artistic perspective, the 1941 wheat penny is also significant. Victor David Brenner's portrait of Lincoln was the first time a U.S. president appeared on a circulating coin, a groundbreaking move when it was introduced in 1909 to commemorate the centennial of Lincoln's birth. By 1941, the design had already been in use for over 3 decades, yet it remained deeply meaningful to Americans who revered Lincoln as a symbol of unity during a time of national struggle. The wheat ears on the reverse, while simple, carried immense symbolic weight, representing agricultural abundance and the strength of the nation's farming economy, a particularly relevant theme during the hardships of the Great Depression and the mobilization of resources for the looming war effort. This blend of artistry, symbolism, and historical resonance makes the coin an enduring favorite among collectors. In conclusion, the 1941 no mint mark wheat penny is far more than a 1-cent coin. It is a miniature piece of history, an artistic work, and a collector's prize. Struck during one of the most pivotal years of the 20th century, it reflects both the resilience of the American people and the looming challenges of World War II. Its design by Victor David Brenner remains iconic, and its composition ties it to the era of classic copper coinage before the wartime metal shortages of the 1940s. While millions were minted, only a fraction survive today in pristine red mint state condition, and it is these coins that can command market values up to $900. Factors such as grade, luster, color, errors, and collector demand all contribute to its desirability, making it an appealing coin for both collectors and investors. Whether viewed as a historical artifact, a centerpiece in a Lincoln cent collection, or a tangible investment in American numismatics, the 1941 no mint mark wheat penny continues to hold lasting significance. Its journey from a common pocket coin of 1941 to a highly valued collectible reminds us of the enduring allure of numismatics and the way in which even the smallest coins can carry the greatest stories. The $900 value attached to it today is not just about rarity. It reflects the rich legacy of history, art, and human experience captured in a humble copper cent, a coin that stands as a timeless reminder of America's resilience and progress. Next up, the 1932 no mint mark wheat penny is one of those fascinating coins in the Lincoln wheat cent series that collectors often overlook at first glance, but eventually come to appreciate deeply once they understand its historical significance. Scarcity and rising value in today's numismatic market, where a well-preserved example can command up to $200. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally did not use a mint mark on its coins, the 1932 penny carries Victor David Brenner's celebrated design honoring Abraham Lincoln. On the obverse, the right-facing portrait of the 16th President of the United States is shown in remarkable detail, accompanied by the inscriptions, "In God We Trust" above, "Liberty" to the left, and the year 1932 on the right. The reverse features the classic wheat ears design, with two stylized wheat stalks framing the denomination 1 cent and the inscription United States of America, along with the Latin motto E pluribus unum across the top. This simple yet powerful design had been introduced in 1909 to commemorate Lincoln's 100th birthday and remained in circulation until 1958, making it one of the longest-running and most beloved designs in U.S. coinage history. What makes the 1932 wheat penny particularly interesting is its mintage context. That year, the Great Depression was in full force, and economic hardship meant that coin production across the United States was drastically reduced. Philadelphia produced fewer coins compared to other years, making the 1932 wheat penny a semi-key date within the series, especially when found in higher grades. While millions were still struck, the survival rate of well-preserved specimens is relatively low due to the heavy circulation of these coins during a period when every penny truly mattered to American families. This is one of the reasons why collectors today are willing to pay premiums of up to $200 for uncirculated high-grade examples that retain their original red luster and sharp strike. The historical background of 1932 adds even greater depth to this coin's appeal. The United States was deep in the throes of the Great Depression, a time when unemployment was rampant, banks were failing, and ordinary Americans struggled daily to make ends meet. In such an environment, a single penny could hold real purchasing power, often stretched by families to buy small but essential goods. Every 1932 penny that passed through the hands of Americans was a tangible piece of survival, a token of resilience in an age of struggle. Collectors today view the 1932 no mint mark wheat penny not just as a numismatic artifact, but as a silent witness to one of the most challenging chapters in American history. Each example carries the weight of that era, reminding us of how even the smallest denominations played a crucial role in daily life. When viewed in this historical context, the coin's current market value of $200 is not simply about rarity or condition. It's about the deeper story it tells of perseverance, hardship, and the enduring American spirit during the toughest of times. In terms of condition and grading, the 1932 no mint mark wheat penny offers a fascinating study in how value is determined in numismatics. Most surviving examples are heavily worn, graded in low circulated conditions such as good, G, very good, VG, or fine, F, where their value might range from just a few cents to a few dollars. However, the real excitement begins with coins, in higher grades. In extremely fine, XF, or about uncirculated, AU condition, the coin begins to command more attention from collectors, as such examples are far less common due to the coin's heavy use during the Depression years. It is in mint state, MS condition, however, that the coin truly shines. Collectors place a premium on examples with full original mint luster and minimal marks, especially those that retain their bright red coloration. Copper coins naturally oxidize over time, often turning brown or red-brown, which makes fully red. Examples extremely scarce. Coins graded MS65RD or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC are the ones that can achieve values of $200 or more in today's market. The combination of sharp details, brilliant luster, and vivid red color makes these coins standout pieces in any collection, driving their desirability and value far above the average circulation-worn penny. Error varieties and minting anomalies further enhance the appeal of the 1932 wheat penny. While the Philadelphia issue did not produce repunched mint mark varieties, as it bore no mint mark, collectors have identified other interesting variations, such as double die obverses and reverses, off-center strikes, die cracks, and clipped planchets. These error coins are highly collectible and can be worth significantly more than the standard $200 valuation, depending on the rarity and visual appeal of the error. For example, a dramatic off-center strike or a bold double die variety can capture the attention of both error specialists and Lincoln cent enthusiasts alike, pushing prices well beyond standard catalog values. This makes hunting for error varieties of the 1932 penny an exciting prospect for collectors who enjoy the thrill of discovering unique anomalies hidden within a seemingly common coin. Another important factor driving the 1932 wheat penny's desirability is its role in set building. The Lincoln Wheat Cent series is one of the most widely collected coin series in the world, and completing a full set of every date and mint mark is a challenge that many collectors pursue passionately. The 1932 issue, being a semi-key date due to its relatively low mintage and the historical context of its production, is an essential component of any complete set. Collectors who aim to assemble high-grade sets often find themselves competing fiercely for well-preserved examples, and this demand is what ensures that the 1932 no mint mark wheat penny maintains strong market value. The fact that a coin with a face value of 1 cent from nearly a century ago can now command $200 in high grades demonstrates the enduring popularity and appreciation of the Lincoln Cent series in numismatics. From an investment perspective, the 1932 no mint mark wheat penny offers both accessibility and potential. Unlike the ultra-rare key dates such as the 1909 SVDB or the 1914D, the 1932 penny is within reach of most collectors and investors, yet it carries enough scarcity to ensure long-term value growth. The limited number of high-grade examples and the steady demand from collectors mean that prices for this coin have shown consistent appreciation over the decades. For investors, acquiring a 1932 wheat penny in certified mint state red condition could be a smart move, as such coins are both historically significant and financially sound additions to a diversified numismatic portfolio. With continued interest in Lincoln cents across all levels of the hobby, it is likely that the value of high-grade 1932 pennies will only increase in the years to come. The artistry of the coin adds another layer of importance to its legacy. Victor. David Brenner's design was the first in U.S. history to feature a real person, a president, on a circulating coin, breaking away from the allegorical figures that had dominated American coinage in previous decades. Lincoln's image was chosen to mark the centennial of his birth in 1909, and it resonated deeply with the American public, especially during times of crisis. By 1932, Lincoln's presence on the penny carried profound symbolism. As the nation faced the economic devastation of the Great Depression, Lincoln's image reminded Americans of his leadership during another time of great national trial, the Civil War. The wheat stalks on the reverse symbolized growth, resilience, and the agricultural backbone of the country, qualities that were deeply meaningful during an era when farmers and working-class families were struggling to survive. Thus, the coin's design was not merely decorative but also symbolic, carrying with it a message of hope, strength, and unity. In conclusion, the 1932 no mint mark wheat penny is much more than a copper coin with a face value of 1 cent. It is a historical artifact from the depths of the Great Depression, a beautifully designed work of numismatic art, and a highly collectible piece with significant market value. While millions were minted, the survival of well-preserved, uncirculated, fully read examples is limited, making them treasures that collectors are willing to pay up to $200 to acquire. Factors such as grade, coloration, mint errors, and overall eye appeal all play major roles in determining the coin's worth, while its place in the popular Lincoln Wheat Cent series ensures ongoing demand. Whether viewed as a historical keepsake, a collector's challenge, or a smart investment, the 1932 wheat penny embodies the enduring power of numismatics to capture the essence of a moment in history. Its journey from a pocket coin in Depression era America to a collectible valued at $200 today demonstrates how even the most humble of coins can become extraordinary treasures over time. For collectors and investors alike, the 1932 no mint mark wheat penny stands as a lasting reminder that every coin has a story. And this one tells a story of hardship, resilience, and the timeless legacy of Abraham Lincoln, whose image continues to inspire generations through the humble yet powerful cent.